And I'm back with more Spirit of Justice. Today is the start of case 6-4, Turnabout Storyteller. And I'm not going to lie, over the last two, I guess 6-1 is also good, but mostly 6-2 and 6-3, this is going to be a drop. Namely because the defendant is one of the more annoying defendants, and I don't really have a fondness for what's going on in the trial. That being said, there are some interesting characters that maybe could work voice acted that don't really work, in text. So I'll do my best. Specifically, one character that goes through different emotions, and having Simon back, so that's good because it's been forever. But to think that he would be part of one of the worst cases for me personally is kind of sad. But whatever. We're going to Japanifornia. This is Athena's trial for the game. Let's get it done. Turnabout Storyteller.
Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What time is it? It's 9, 10, 11.
Well, he's dead. Ew. Shijo's dead? No. You think he did it? Oh no, if he did, then what do we do? Hey, pull yourself together. Don't worry, I have an idea. Oh. Japanifornia, Japanifornia. Anyway. I forget if Apollo's in this episode or Athena does it herself. What the heck? Who brings a defendant to his own trial late? The request is so last minute, I didn't even have a chance to talk with my client. Oh, you don't want to talk. He's late! He's late for a very important... Oh, come on. Don't reference Alice in Wonderland for a case this dumb. My name is Athena Sykes. Armed with analytical psychology and a full arsenal of legal know-how, I'm a fully competent defender at the Right Anything agency. Though I wish my client would show up already. The trial's about to start. It appears we made it just in time. Where have you been? The trial's about to start, Simon. You needn't get so worked up. His boldness can wait. There's no way he'd wait for me. Besides, why would I want to start off the wrong foot with him right out the gate? Dealing with such matters is part of being a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. Well, yeah, covering for your lateness is not. Still, just a rank amateur, I see. This is Simon Blackquill. You might not look it, but he's actually a prosecutor and a psychology specialist. He and I go way back. So our shared specialization in psychology, we're both disciples of the same person, so to speak. And he's kind of my senior, I guess. Twisted sense of humor or no, I wish he'd stop treating me like a child. So we're a right dono and justice dono. Mr. Red is abroad and Apollo's helping Trucy with her magic show. Didn't I tell you? They're what? So neither of them are here? Leaving you to take this on alone? Yup. Ye gods. Call Right Dono back. It's not too late. Oh no, not too late at all. You only need to, teleport. Very well. Then I will settle for justice, Dono. Go grab him by the horns and drag him here. Apollo's literally in the middle of a show. They don't want to admit it, but I've got what it takes to take on this case. Just leave it to me and go watch from the gallery. As your defense derails in spectacular fashion. No, as I win the heck out of this trial. I'll be okay. Promise. Wipe that look off your face already. I take it the guy behind you is... Yes, he's your... He's asleep again. Hey! Bucky, wake up! Ah! Uh-oh! What'd you do that for, Simon? Great. Who's this, you chickadee? She is your lawyer, such as you were. I'd say she's more green than yellow, however. Lawyer? She don't look like it, does she? Is she like your fellow apprentice or something? Something like that. I've known her longer than I've known you. You could say we're bound to one another. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I better call her Miss Chickadee then. Simon, this guy's not only rude, but he's 3 sheets to win to his own trial. I know we just met, but I'm about ready to give him a piece of my mind. Do as you will. Just save it for the trial. Miss Chickadee. Don't call me that. How'd you do? Simon here is your friend of mine. I sound a lot older than this kid, but that's fine. I'm the 4th generation head chef of Wet Soap. Yeah! Wet noodle number 4. Bucky Wet. Nice meet you. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Wet. So he can pull himself together when he wants to. Ugh, if only the trial wasn't starting in a few minutes. Having him accused of a murder has not only occurred yesterday, I'm afraid it's taken a toll on the poor boy. And you happened to be there at the theater when it all happened? They said they found a Rakugo storyteller murdered in his dressing room. Indeed. The victim, Master Storyteller Typhoon Tornado, was a long patron of Wet Soda. Master Tornado had been looking after Bucky ever since Wet Noodle number 3 passed away. I see, so the victim was kind of a father figure for the defendant, huh? That stupid old fart! I got a father? Oh, hey! He's always dishing my soba! How dare you speak ill of him! Running your mouth like that is why they suspected you of the murder in the first place! Now pull yourself together. Number 3 must be rolling in his grave. Oh man, having Simon back is great. But Simon! But being this guy is just annoying. Please, none of them believe me. They won't listen to me. Looks like he's still in shock from the whole ordeal. Don't worry, Mr. Wet. Everything's gonna be alright. Simon's gonna take care of this. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna defend you with everything I've got. You're in good hands now. You mean you believe me? Of course. No matter what, I'll believe you to the very end, even with your noodle hairdo. Gee whiz, Miss Chickadee. Oh, come on, I need you to shape up, like those al dente noodles of yours. Can ramen and soba be al dente, or is it standard wet noodles? I don't know. Yes, ma'am. My soba's the friend. Oh, God. Mr. Wet! Bucky, you great big Pollock. So, how exactly do you know this guy? I used to frequent Wet Soba, and still do, in fact. So I've known him since he was a lad. That's why his father and Master Tornado were always so good to me. I didn't know you liked soba so much. I wouldn't expect someone like you who eats meat drab in slabs of bread to understand the delicate taste and subtle textures imparted by buckwheat flour. That's just rude. But I digress. Jeez, I'm all about flavor and subtlety and stuff. If I let Wet Soba end like this, I'll never be able to face number 3 or Master Tornado in the next life. I see. And that's why you came to me. You wanted somebody you could trust. was never my intention to ask you. I'll show him. I'll show him I can handle himself just fine. I believe it's just about time. We haven't even properly discussed the case yet. What's the matter? You look nervous, Athena. Don't tell me you're chickadeeing out. I'm just trembling with excitement into the battle, that's all. Off, Gats, let's do this. Come on, Mr. Wet, get up off the floor and clean yourself up. We got a case to win. Yes, Miss Chickadee. I'm gonna do my best.
Wet soba, wet soba, wet soba, wet soba, wet soba.
What the fuck? Uh-oh. 2 bowls of noodles? Sorry, can't. Kinda busy. They hung up. Okay. Let's do this. He's not gonna do himself or this case any favors like this. Maybe we should let him go get some rest somewhere. Let me rest? Maybe if I was a lump of regular flour dough for udon or something. But I'm fresh like my soba. Not you let dough rest. It's 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat seeds fresh, cut the doughs fresh, and oh my god. He's blacked out. I just knew something like this would happen. Simon, what are the 3 freshes of soba he's talking about? Buckwheat seeds are gross, ground to make buckwheat flour. The dough made from this flour is cut in a large rectangular knife into noodles. And then finally, buckwheat noodles are boiled. Each step is done immediately, one after the other, so the soba is fresh when eaten. So that's what he meant. I hope this matters somewhere in the case, because I'm just kind of zoning out. Other than doing Simon's voice, I'm not really interested. Wouldn't want him to make me any sober right now, that's for sure. Athena, this is no time for idle chatter. You need to get into the courtroom now. And remember, as a prosecutor, I will be unable to lend you a hand. So don't expect any help from my corner. There you go, treating me like an incompetent again. For your information, I wasn't planning on asking for your help anyway. Just you wait, I'll show you. If there wasn't an age gap, they'd totally be together. Like, they totally would. They might end up being there someday, but they would probably hate it. They would just basically catfight every freaking day of their lives. I don't know if it would work. Mr. Wright and Apollo may not be here. That's alright. I could do this on my own. Yeah, because I think Simon's like 13 years older. I don't. Remember, I'm an age gap person. I just, you know, 5, maybe 7 years. But whatever. Your mileage may vary about your interest in Simon and Athena actually being a couple someday. I don't know. I might have been the only person to think about it. Too many stupid romance anime I've been watching lately. Anyway, court is now in session for the trial of Bucky West. The defense is ready, Your Honor. God, I have to be this guy in this case, too? The prosecution is fully prepared, Your Honor. What's this? No prayer this time, prosecutor. That's correct, Your Honor. Sorry. Still had some stuff in my nose, I'm sorry. To expedite these proceedings, I completed them beforehand in the lobby. How very thoughtful of you. By the way, what brings you back to this country? Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth himself called on me to handle this case. Besides, I have a debt to repay. And though my opponent is yet a callow thing, I have no qualms about sending her down to hell.
Objection!
If you have a score to settle, it's with Apollo, not me. More importantly, I'm not a callow thing. I'm a qualified and capable attorney. And what is that yellow tire if not proof of your immaturity, you small swing chick? Now, cease your shrill chirping. Now, prosecutor, you can flirt later. She's still only a teenager. Go easy on her. Great, now even the judge is giving me kid treatment. Very well. Shall we begin? Since he's like, what, 19, 20-ish at this point? Anyway, I suppose we should. Now then, Prosecutor Sadmani, please give your opening statement. I'll show them what I can do. They'll be sorry they underestimated me. Certainly. Let the last rites of the victim commence, so that he might sober up, so that I don't have to play him anymore. Anyway, the incident is believed to have occurred at 4 p.m. yesterday, May 12th, at a Storyteller's theater called Kuro Kuro Te. The victim was a great master of the Tornado School of Rakugo, or comedic storytelling. His name was Taifu Tornado. So I'm not really familiar with Rakugo. I think I watched an anime called Kabukicho Sherlock, where the dude was trying to be a Rakugo storyteller and basically ended up using that for his cases. Other than that, this is like my only knowledge base for Rakugo. It's like a one-man show kind of thing, like talking, almost comedy sort of thing, but I don't know. I don't know enough to say whether this is a good approximation of it or not. The scene of the murder was the theater dressing room. It is accessible via the staff entrance of the hallway as an inner and outer sliding door. So yes, it has an innie and an outie. Great. The estimated time of death is between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. The cause of death is suffocation, though how the victim suffocated is yet to be determined. The autopsy found nothing unusual in his lungs or stomach, and there's no murder weapon. I will now submit the incident report to court. Hooray! Prosecutor Sadmati, how can you name Mr. Wet as the culprit when you don't know how the victim was killed, or even with what? Well, it is true the weapon and precise method are of yet unknown. The accused is the only one who had the opportunity to commit the murder. I will explain this assertion in further detail as we continue. I guess this means he's got some kind of evidence to present. Now, would the accused care to plead his case? No, he's on the floor gagging up a storm. Where is the defendant, Miss Sykes? Sorry, Your Honor. I'm afraid Mr. Wet isn't feeling very well and is resting in the infirmary. Surely it is a lack of clear conscience that impedes him from facing this court. Great, starting off on the wrong foot already. Mr. Wet is the head chef of a soba shop frequented by the victim. On the day of the incident, Mr. Wet went to the theater at the victim's request. Taifu Tornado was a connoisseur of soba, as you can see in these photographs. He was apparently making soba himself in his dressing room that very day. The soba found at the scene is likely the soba he made himself there. Liking soba is one thing, but making it in a theater dressing room is a bit much, no? Master Tornado truly had a passion for soba, didn't he? For a man like that to be murdered by a soba chef is simply unthinkable. And yet, the accused had ample motive. For in the victim's safe, we discovered the deed to the accused's shop. Mr. Wet was to inherit Wet Soba when he lost his father recently. However, it is believed the victim stole the shop's deed in the transfer process. Prosecution believes the accused killed the victim in order to get the deed back. Yeesh. A murder over a deed of a shop? That does sound like a plausible motive. So that's what this case is about? I wish Simon had filled me in better. Could have contributed more than just 1,000 buckets of cold sweat. Defense. From your demeanor, I gather you know very little about the details. Well, let's see. You are dishonoring the soul of the victim by appearing in the courtroom unprepared. You are an embarrassment to your profession, you putrid egg yolk. Ugh. Sorry? Paula's a red pepper, now I'm an egg yolk? Only just started, I'm already demoted from spring chick. I'm ready to call my witness, Your Honor. No, it's not this butterfly. Let us listen to the words of one who was present when the crime was discovered. Someone who was there when the victim's body was found? Very well. Witness, please take the stand. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh! Yep. Oh, I'm a happy guy. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Simon Blackquill, prosecutor. Prosecutor Blackquill! You didn't tell me you were going to take the stand? This simply wasn't time. So it's going to be a little hard to differentiate them, but Blackquill just has that in his voice, just disdain for everything, so it's going to be way. What a shame, Prosecutor Blackquill. Had you shared the damning scene with the witness before the defense, we could have moved this trial along and saved the victim's soul much faster. Damning scene? What in the world did Simon see? Prosecutor Sodmati, was it? Before I give my testimony, there's something I'd like to confirm. By all means. This case involves Rakugo, a very traditional form of Japanese comedic storytelling. Do you have enough knowledge of this art form to handle the case competently? Are you implying I'm not qualified for this case? Not yet. I'm simply trying to ascertain your familiarity with the topic. For now. It is a prosecutor's duty to learn the background of any case he takes on. I did some research on Rakugo last night and grasped the overall idea. How much could you possibly grasp in a single night? Rakugo is a form of entertaining storytelling that originated in the land of Japan. It is, the storyteller sits alone on stage and is found of a towel and the Rakugo artist tells long, whimsical stories, He just read Wikipedia, didn't he? This traditional art was originally invented in amongst the sermons of the more interesting. Okay. Are you satisfied? If not, I can explain the 12 types of endings. Or shall I perform the famous story of Jugemu instead? It appears you put in a bit of study. Your acknowledgement is most welcome, prosecutor. Now I can see why you're known for being quite thorough in your research. Now I would love to see you perform that story you mentioned, Jugemu, if you don't mind. If it is the honor's request. Jugemu. Hey! We only got 3 hours for this. That's how long this case is. Anyway, I got like 2 hours to record this. Can we get back on track? No! Right, of course, I nearly forgot. Seriously? Of all the things you forgot? Now then, back to the case. Prosecutor Blackquill, please tell this court what you witnessed. I went to the theater yesterday and arrived at approximately 4 p.m. I went straight to Master Tornado's dressing room to say hello. Bucky went to the dressing room thereafter, only to come storming out a little later. Master Tornado's junior disciple, Uendo, apparently entered the room soon after. That's when Uendo discovered Master Tornado's body. Now wait just a minute, Prosecutor Blackquill. Testimony like that, you're practically accusing Mr. Wet of the crime. All I could do was state what I saw. I can't help how it appears. But a qualified and capable attorney such as you should be able to dispatch from it. Or dispatch with it, right? Well, yeah, duh! Alright, I guess I'd better start by getting all the info out of him I can. So press every statement. Prosecutor Blackquill, what did you go to the theater for in the first place? I went because I had received an invitation from Master Tornado. Here, see for yourself. It was a special show commemorating his junior disciple Uendo's promotion. It was also an occasion to announce the boy's succession to the stage name of Uendo 2. What exactly do you mean by succeed to a stage name? You really don't know, do you? In the performing arts, a name succession is when an artist inherits the predecessor's name. I see. So there was another Uendo Rakugo artist before, and this disciple succeeded him? What exactly did your invitation say? It contained a simple letter of salutations, and an outline of the show's program. Oh, it appears Typhoid Tornado was going to perform Toki Soba, or Time Soba. He's famous for his masterful pantomime of eating soba, using only his fan as a prop. And Uendo was to perform Soba Sei, or Soba Glutton, soba-themed show, I see. Seems you know a thing or two about Rakugo yourself, your boldness. The first to perform was senior disciple Geiru, followed by Uendo, and lastly Master Tornado. I see. So that's why you happened to be at the Storyteller's Theater yesterday. What happened after you arrived?
Hold it!
How did Master Tornado appear when you said hello? I went with the intention of greeting him, but ultimately, we didn't actually meet. You didn't see him? Why not? Geiru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done. You heard Rakugo being performed in the dressing room? Yes, not just me, but Geiru as well. In other words, you can confirm that the victim was still alive at around 4. Correct. I couldn't hear him clearly through the doors, but I was sure it was Master Tornado. I could tell because it was the Time Soba routine being performed in there. So that means the victim was killed sometime after that.
Hold it!
Please tell us in detail how Mr. Wet appeared at the time. Was he drunk like he is now? Geiru and I were waiting in the hallway for Master Tornado to finish practicing, when Bucky appeared and entered the dressing room with his things. What happened after that? We heard what sounded like Bucky shouting inside the room. About 10 minutes later, Bucky came back out of the dressing room looking rather irate. This is most likely when the murder was committed. The victim was an elderly man. It would have been entirely possible to kill him within the span of 10 minutes. Better come up with some kind of counter-argument fast.
Hold it!
What do you mean by apparently? Didn't you go see him in? No, I couldn't. I wasn't able to see the dressing room door from where I was standing. But Geiru was right in front of it, so I'm sure she saw it all. I see. Why do you suppose Uendo went in the dressing room anyway? He had just finished his routine, and he was making a courtesy call. A disciple is to pay master respect right before and after each performance. And all disciples are expected to do this? Yes, it's common courtesy among Rakugo artists. I see. Could you tell us what happened after Uendo went into the dressing room? Certainly. And how did Uendo act at the time? After Uendo had been in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes, we heard a scream inside the room, and Uendo came flying out. Did you hear any signs of a struggle at the time? No, just his woeful scream. I see. Well done, Prosecutor Blackquill. Your testimony has given us quite a glimpse into the sequence of events. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackquill. And now, please allow me to summarize your testimony. While Prosecutor Blackquill and Gayru were in the hallway, waiting for Master Tornado, the accused came along and entered the dressing room with items in tow. He was heard shouting from a time inside the dressing room. And about 10 minutes later, he came back out of the room seeming rather angry. A short time after the accused had come and gone, Window Tornado went into the room. A few minutes later, having discovered the victim's body, the window gave a scream and came running out into the hallway from within. Prosecutor Blackquill and Gayru then ran into the room and saw the body for themselves. From the circumstances, it's quite clear the accused murdered the victim. This is crucial testimony indeed. Defense. An eyewitness has given conclusive testimony. Why not let it all go and allow the victim his last rites? Not in your life! If Wendo went into the dressing room too and was the first to discover the body, then who's to say he didn't commit the crime? Wendo was in the dressing room for a mere 2, perhaps 3 minutes. He could not have possibly committed murder at that time, nor without making any noise. Simon, why'd you have to give that awful testimony? Prosecutor Blackquill, can't you give me something a little better to work with here? Isn't it up to you to ask the right questions? I'm certainly willing to tell you all that I know. If you are truly as capable as you claim, then draw out what you need yourself. There's no time for your twisted games. Just admit you don't remember it all that well. Prosecutor Blackquill, watching you collude with the defense like this, I see that you're no prosecutor. Begone, witness! You shall haunt this sacred hall no more. How dare you treat me like some evil spirit? Oh, remember this, you blackguard. Ew. Don't worry, prosecutor. I got this. Now, don't worry, Simon. Would I have my way, you would not be the only one to step down. You half-boiled putrid egg yolk. Ew, I object to the notion I'm a gooey, smelly mess. Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony was like the lowly opening act of a Rokugo show. He may hold the title of prosecutor, but this time he stood on the side of defense. To restore balance to the trial, I would like to present an actual witness for the prosecution. And who is this witness? The person who was with Prosecutor Blackquill when the body was discovered. She is another entertainer of the Tornado School, Miss Gayru Tornado. Oh dear. Well, we'll meet her. Oh dear. I don't even know what she's going to sound like. This should be fun. But I got to where I wanted to get to, so I'll call it here for now. Press buttons. Buttons! Ah, shit. Well, we'll get to her now, I guess. Nice little cliffhanger. Look at those legs. Oh. Hello? Hello, everyone. I'm here to represent the Tornado School. And balloon! And there you have it, a stunning balloon hat. It's me, the balloon artist you all know and love, Gayru Tornado. Just call me Gayru, sweetie. 1, 2, balloon! Or balloon! Okay. Now I'll stop. Because pressing buttons is bad for me. Cross-examining Gayru. Alright. We'll stop there. Balloon! Of course, I try to stop the episode and I get a pop-up for my stupid malware. Stop it! We'll see you next time.